We're doing YouTube. We are going to be continuing the engine swap series. We're up to the Cappuccino. This is one of the, I think it was just released for this update, the 1.23. I think 2.4 was just getting it in line with the PlayStation console update. So I went ahead and actually built a livery on this one. I didn't even realize it, but I ended up building it with the same wheels, only white instead of black. So I felt like the OZ wheels felt appropriate for the car, and I must have felt that way the last time too. So I have driven this car a little bit already, just trying to get an idea of. I was actually trying to run it on the Tokyo 600 race. And we'll actually head over to Tokyo. I'm not going to run that exact circuit. This is a 3-lap circuit and suggested, so no limits. And with a 550 suggestion, we're right around there with the base car. So we'll run 3 laps with the. It's not the base car. It's a built-up variant. But we'll see how this car runs versus the rotary-powered vehicle. I'll probably use the paddles. So I did adjust the differential just to try to make the car a little bit more manageable. And they both have the transmission set to 360, so I haven't driven this car since it came out. I actually should have reviewed it way back then. But it's a K car, so they're limited on size and engine CCs. I think the modern ones the most modern were limited to 660. Part of building the car up is boring it out, so this thing's at 690. It doesn't look like we have the power to get really moving, so. I know the rotary car will get there. It's got a 5-speed transmission, so we're not getting anywhere near where the transmission wants to be. This actually, after driving the engine swap variant, this actually feels kind of docile and predictable. The engine swap car feels really short, and by that it's like the wheelbase is just not very long in it, so it's real twitchy and it just kind of bites and kicks you out. Versus this is actually something I'm a little more comfortable pushing into the corner. And ironically, the revs are going way higher on the reciprocating engine versus the rotary. This was a high revving car when it came out, so that's not far off. And it's got a pretty neat top setup. I mean, the game isn't going to do that, but you can basically, there's 3 roof panels, so you can take off either the 2 sides and have it like a T-bar setup, or you can take off the middle post as well and have it more like a Porsche, where they have like the Targas or like the Corvettes. or you can actually the rear glass and the rear hoop will actually like slide back into the trunk area once you have those 3 panels removed. So it can run like a full convertible as well. And it's a hardtop. It's like a hardtop convertible, which they had them. I mean, they had them way back when, but in terms of the reemergence of that technology, it's pretty cool to see it on this car. The little turbo indicator on the dash is actually, I mean, it's part of the regular stock setup of the car. I don't think it gives a whole lot of information. These cars were low horsepower. I mean, you're talking like 70 horsepower. So when they you know, it is turbo, but it's also tiny motor, tiny car. Everything about this is just small. Now there is a K-class race in the missions. I don't know if it allows the rotary swap vehicle in there. I haven't tried it. This just hit the stores again, the used car market. Like, I just noticed it today. So I had only been running with I only bought one of them because I didn't, you know, it's a K car. I'm not really all that excited to own it. I wouldn't even mind getting one in real life, but I mean, in terms of the racing game where I can have Bugattis and Ferraris and, you know, GTRs and, you know, just monster vehicles, picking up a K car isn't something you're going to get too excited about. It's a much longer track than I realized. Looks like we're gonna beat our best time. I don't know if it was by a whole lot, but we did all right there. Good little car. I mean, it's fine. I mean, you see, we're running Supras and things like that. It's a 550 class, so we're not. 227 is our best. Not bad. I'm not even that concerned about remembering it because I know the other version's going to hit 200, so it's a quick car. Alright, so let's hop back in and try to see first what our stats look like. The performance points didn't change all that much, but for some reason when you put the fully customizable racing transmission in, the P points plummet on the rotary car. So I don't know why that is. It's over 600, then it drops way below, almost a 550. Shouldn't happen. Weight distribution looks good, 5149, 1358, and our power is going to be the big thing. We got 145 horsepower with 100 something foot-pounds of torque, and even there, it's a peaky power. I mean, that horsepower is kind of. We had the high RPM turbo, and anti-lag is set to strong, so I didn't do that on the other car. I don't think we even need to care, but we can mess with that a little bit. Let's actually go. Let's flip cars and. I want to keep it fair. Our arrow has changed on the other car as well, so let me grab. This was at 100. And this is at 10. That's going to make a big difference. Ballast doesn't matter. Go ahead and put that to strong, and let's get the buy the bigger turbo just to do it. I think the medium is fine. I think this might actually hurt the car, but I just want to keep the comparisons, apples to apples. And you can see already, I mean, we're way over the horsepower, way over the torque. I didn't pay attention to the weight. Let's see what that was real quick. So we added some weight. I mean, that's not a whole lot. It went from 13.5 to, we added like 100, 170 pounds, something like that. That's all right. All right, and it's still peaky. I mean, it just is. But it's also going to 500 instead of 125, I think we were at with the other car. Let's double check. 145. See, I was shortchanging her. So this should be a different race altogether. 227 to beat. I think the biggest issue I'm going to have is the fact that I messed with that arrow. I think it's going to be a handful. Front end feels ridiculously light. Now, like I was telling you, I did run this car a little bit on the Tokyo 600 race, if the one people are grinding. I ended up running into trouble with it. You really don't want to get into it with the other drivers because they just will knock this car around like it doesn't even. I mean, it doesn't weigh much, so there's reality there, but they just beat the crap out of you if you're not giving them plenty of space. I'm gonna go ahead and switch the. It's a little unfair to the other car, but I'm gonna go ahead and put that downforce back in the front. I mean, you could see the front end coming up, and it's just undrivable. pretty happy with the livery. You can find that on the uploads. I left it editable, and if you just search on Doritos or Cool Ranch, I think the third word I put was rotary, but it's out there for you to grab if you like it. Yep. That's the issue with this car, is it's so light that you just get manhandled by everything. And that one has the where if you bump the walls, it gives you a penalty, but it also crushes parts on this car. This car is pretty fragile. A lot of cars you can bump them ever so slightly and it'll be okay, but this thing gets manhandled. It wasn't too bad on fuel. The aero didn't really help it too much. This car definitely feels twitchy. The brakes could use some work too. But it was pretty decent on tires. I would probably suggest using mediums just because I was right on the edge with one pit stop. And on the last lap, the issue I ran into was that it blew the rear tires out. I mean, I was getting beat up, so I think with a little practice getting used to this car, you could run pretty well. But when you're getting bumped and spun, we just ran a 228 and that was an ugly lap. So the car it feels almost like it wants to push. Man, it's a violent car to drive. It's hard to keep this thing clean. I saw it set up in one of the forums, and they had the body lifted to almost like 145. I think it was like 145 millimeters. And when you put on the factory, or not the factory, when you put on the upgraded suspension, it drops it to 110. So maybe it's binding somewhere. We just shed 20 seconds off our lap. We drifted there a little bit and we're able to get it under control or keep it under control. But this isn't a car I feel comfortable drifting. I mean, the RX-8, oh, it's gorgeous. Like, just you get that thing just sliding through the corner and you almost want to instigate the slide. Whereas this thing, This thing is so twitchy. But it's just hard to catch. I don't think I've gone by that wall clean yet. I'll try to do the engine comparison next. Oh god, I'm going into the pits. Don't do it, don't do it. And I might actually try this being a little bit more lifted and stiffen the suspension back up. But it's kind of a handful. Like, we were way slower in the other version. That's a nice drift. But the other car was way more pleasant also. But it looks good. I mean, for a cappuccino, I'm happy with it. Anyway, I will let you go on this one, and then I'm going to go ahead and start trying to get this tweaked out a little bit better. And I'll see you with the Mazda NA as well, and we'll see how the two of those kind of size up. But anyway, thanks for watching, and have a great day.